And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So please hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share with your friends. Now look, as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of mainstream media, especially Fox News, who spreads misinformation, disinformation, malinformation like no other. Now, I want to highlight some of the insane things that their hosts and guests have shared in an effort to distract from the horrible things that this administration is doing right under our noses. Now, in a moment of pure irony, Jesse Waters claims that truth is what makes a business succeed. Play the clip.
The country wants doers, people with common sense, and leaders who tell the truth, not people who lie to them and then write tell-alls to make a quick buck. You know the easiest way to make money in this business? Tell the truth from the beginning.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if you took your own advice there, Jesse? And meanwhile, clearly, Howard Lutnick didn't hear that advice when he claimed, literally, goes on television claiming that Trump has over $10 trillion for building factories from foreign investment. Play that clip.
I think he knows he's going to win because he's got to protect the American people. He's got to protect the American workers. He's got $10 trillion coming to build factories in America, and he's going to stand for the American people. And he's got lots of other authorities, but I think this one's going to work and it's going to hold. You just have to get real judges.
We got to get real judges as opposed to the fake judges that are there, Howard. Seriously? $10 trillion? I'll tell you what. Why don't you do this? Why don't you put it on an Excel spreadsheet? And why don't you show the American people? How about be fucking transparent? Show the American people where this 10 trillion is coming from. By the way, do we even want certain money from certain individuals? If you have $10 trillion and let's just say a country that promotes Hamas, a country that promotes, I don't know, Hezbollah or the Taliban, that they want to, I don't know, inject themselves into America to get into Trump's good graces, maybe we shouldn't take any of their money. What about that, fake judges? That's like saying you're fake secretary. Meanwhile, Stephen Miller then goes on this stupid rant the other day that literally about the communist judges that are ruling against Trump, which of course is incredibly ironic because even judges, one of the specific judges, Trump appointed, and that judge didn't agree with Trump either. Play the clip.
That's democracy. So if there's 15 communist crazy judges on the court, that each of them as a team working together can block and freeze each and every executive action. Joe Biden was allowed by that same court system.
Some of them are Trump judges, though. Why did Trump put these crazy communist judges, as you call them, on the bench?
You heard President Trump himself say that the Federal Society and Leonard Leo has created a broken system for judicial vetting. And God knows this time around, we are not going to be using... So does that mean he doesn't support picking Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court? What it means is simply this and nothing more. We're not going to be using the Federal Society to make judicial nominations at all going forward. But let me tell you about these rogue judges. This is the most litigated issue over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years, whether or not to deport the foreigners who invaded our country illegally. That is the most litigated issue.
Again, little baby Goebbels there. The hell are you even talking about? Right? Leonard Leo. Since when did the United States government hire the Federalist Society to insert judges into the system? The judges were nominated by the president. If the president and his administration, namely you, didn't do your homework on the individuals that you were nominating, why don't you just tell the American people whose fault that is? You're going to blame it on the guy who nominated? Maybe Leonard Leo, as you say, is exactly what you say. Maybe he's just a dirtbag galore. And so you finally learned that he's a dirtbag? that the Federalist Society is fucked up, that maybe the names of the people you should have vetted yourself, maybe done the most minute amount of investigatory work before nominating them to a position as a judge, especially a federal court judge, which is for life? And you want to blame it on Leonard Leo? That shit doesn't fly, my man. Now, in a moment of rare clarity, Kevin O'Leary spoke out against Trump's decision to restrict international students. Play that clip.
Yeah, obviously the lightning rod right now is Harvard, and I must disclose I teach there as an executive fellow. I will say one thing, though, in all of this debate. They curate remarkable students from all around the world. They don't care their religion or geography or race. They just try and find the top 900 they can find, and they never cared. And then I met them myself. 37% of the class I'm teaching is from foreign countries. They don't want to leave America. They don't hate America. They want to get a passport, stay here, and start a business. And I think I'm one of the lone voices pointing that out. Why would we want to take the brightest and the smartest people on earth and kick them out of the country after we spend millions teaching them? It seems stupid to me.
Yeah.
And these guys are smart. These men or women are the very best of the very best of the very best that made the cut. Now, Harvard's taken a lot of heat for other stuff, but they shouldn't be taking heat for curating amazing cohorts. These kids are amazing, and we got to keep them here.
Well, thank you. They've always said it about you, Emily. Harvard is desperate for you to come back.
You know, I'll tell you something interesting people don't realize. Kevin O'Leary, I think, is Canadian. Right? Maybe we got to deport his ass too. Talking about dumb, idiot Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation. He spoke about increased air traffic. And instead, for God's sakes, of just explaining his plan, he had to do it in a way that merely just bashed Joe Biden. I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing that you can do. Play the clip.
If I increase the pipeline of new people coming in and I can keep those controllers from retiring, that's going to make up the difference as we get more controllers into the system. But this has been a problem for a long time. The Buttigieg Biden administration didn't do anything to fix it, right? All of these problems were well known. They did nothing to make it better, and so they left it to us. We're going to fix it. President Trump cares about the airspace, cares about the controllers, and we're going to work together with the Congress to make sure that we don't pass this problem off to the next administration. It gets done. And by the way, think about this, John. You know the airspace well. Mm-hmm. Not only do we have airplanes right now, but we're gonna add drones into the airspace. We're gonna add eVTOLs, which are these Ubers in the air, into the airspace. It's going to become far more complicated. We need a state-of-the-art system to be able to handle that increased traffic when it comes online. We can't do that now, but if we do this this build, it's going to be ready for all the new uses of the airspace in the coming years.
Well, we know you are.
Look, let me be clear. One thing he's not wrong about, the system is old and it needs an update, and a significant update. But we didn't have the problems under the Biden administration that we have now. You could actually go and you could look that information up yourself. The number of incidents just since Trump became president is more than 3 times that of the entire Joe Biden 4 years. So what are you talking about? Meanwhile, Jessica Tarlov then spoke about the big, beautiful bill and pointed out that there are Republicans who are also against it. Play that clip.
And what the Democrats are arguing, and what I think you couldn't deny, is that it's reckless at this moment to ram through trillions of dollars in tax cuts for the wealthy when you haven't cut any of the spending, which is why Ron Johnson right now is a no, Rand Paul is a no, and they don't have the numbers for this. And I'm not saying that the Democrats are going to get Elon Musk back, right? But he's so clearly disappointed, talking about the reconciliation bill and the work that he's done. And also Tesla's out there now tweeting saying you can't do these cuts that get rid of the energy tax incentives because the grid is going to be smashed as a result of it, and we're going to lose our energy independence. So I'm campaigning for you, Elon. We only talked for a little while when you were on the show, but we'll take you back and we could doge the right way together.
So
yeah, I mean, look, that's the one thing. I don't know how Jessica Tarlov does it, puts up with the stupidity on that show, but stupidity doesn't stop there. MAGA Mike Johnson, well, he says that people aren't paying enough attention to the money that the big, beautiful bill is saving. Now, I want to be very clear. Before I show you this clip, I haven't seen one penny of savings as a result of the big, beautiful bill. I have no clue what this man is even talking about. Play the clip.
Well, look, I've encouraged them to do as little reworking as possible because we have a very delicate balance that we've maintained in the House and the Senate. We both have small majorities. I don't disagree with my good friend Ron Johnson. He's right. We have a big national debt problem. But I think what's being discounted here is the fact that we are achieving the largest amount of savings in the history of government on planet Earth. I mean, we're going to save over $1.5 trillion in spending. That's a big, big thing. We didn't get in this economic situation overnight, and it's going to take us a while to get out of it. But this would be the biggest, largest dramatic turn that we've ever had in Congress. And so it's a big achievement. Now, look, this is just the beginning. This is not the end. This is the first of what we believe will be multiple reconciliation packages, and we'll be codifying more of the DOGE cuts and putting all these things into law. So this is an important step, and I don't want them to miss that as they're debating the merits of the bill.
Well, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Show us where the savings are. Show us legitimate areas where you're going to save $1.5 trillion. Oh, yeah, you're going to take it from child cancer research. You're going to take it from cutting out SNAPs, the food stamps. You're going to take it away from more veterans who are unable to now get the assistance that they need despite their injuries, which were caused because they served our country, because they were there to protect the Constitution and your right to be an asshole. Seriously? Meanwhile, lastly, MAGA Mike tries to claim that the Congressional Budget Office's projection of the debt, it's not even reliable. No, it's not reliable. Really? I thought this is a Trump administration. Play the clip.
Yes, I sent my good friend Elon a long text message last night explaining that it can be both big and beautiful, okay? So what I wanted to make sure that he understands is that the projection that he's referring to and others is from the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. They are historically totally unreliable. It's run by Democrats. 84% of the number crunchers over there are donors to big Democrats. They don't have our best interest in mind, and they've always been off. By way of example, they were off on their projections of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in the first Trump administration by $1 trillion. The problem is they do not use what we call dynamic scoring. What that means in layman's terms is they don't give us any credit for the extraordinary economic growth.
So far, number one, there is no economic growth. Two, what he's saying is just pure bullshit. Look, it's why I keep saying subscribe, help to build the community. By doing that, we put an end to that. And as always, thanks for listening.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.